Jananim Sarada Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. With my humble pranams at the holy feet of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi and Swami Vivekananda, and also my respectful pranams to Swami Nityastananji Maharaj and Swami Balabhadrananji and all the elderly monks who have come here, and my sister nuns and my dear devotees of Bangalore. I am extremely happy and consider it a great privilege to be present here in Ramakrishna Ashrama, Bangalore, and to take part in this program, Sarada Chintana Dhara, and to speak on the particular allotted topic for me, that is the importance of simplicity in spiritual life, the Sarada Devi ideal. Now, in today's modern world, we feel this quality of simplicity has become an extremely rare virtue. In olden times, people were simpler, happier, and more peaceful, perhaps. The reason is due to advancement of science and technology and increasing gadgets of material pleasures and comforts, the human life is becoming more and more complicated day by day. And accordingly, the human mind is also facing new kinds of challenges. And in this situation, it is not so easy to be simple also. We feel if we are simple, we are cheated and people may take advantage over us, and cleverer people may look down or underestimate us. So in this situation, and especially if we want to lead a spiritual life, it is even more challenging to face this world, this changing scenario of this world. And because to be simple, one need not be spiritual always. All simple people are not always spiritual also. But all spiritual people have this quality of simplicity essential in them, because simplicity is after all based on the basic qualities of honesty, purity, truthfulness, and frankness, and all these qualities. And such a person has to be simple also. So we find all great saints and all prophets of our past and all times, they are always simple. And Sri Ramakrishna used to say, only after practicing austerities for many bars, one can attain this quality of simplicity in life. And a person who is simple is actually sitting in the lap of the Divine Mother. And now Sri Ramakrishna also equated this simplicity to tally, or he equated with the Manmukh Akora in Bengali, that is correlating the mind and speech. Because in today's world, majority of the people think in one way, speak in another way, and perform action in yet another way. In such a people, how can we think they can be simple, or how can they be spiritual at all? Now, what do we understand by the word simplicity, first of all? If you ask, we feel it is frankness, openness, truthfulness, rujusvabhava, absence of the nature to twist matters and present in various ways, absence of kutilata or crookedness in a person. And as the previous speaker also mentioned, one is very near to one's true nature, that is Atman, ever pure, ever perfect, the most simplest thing we can say, and the complete absence of ego, absence of all this anger, greed, jealousy, and all Arishadvargas. Such a person is really simple, is almost like a god, only we can say. And in this condition, it is extremely comforting to us to see this quality of simplicity is in abundance in Holy Mother's character, and it is so reassuring to us. Now, Sri Ramakrishna also said one has to be simple like a child, that childlike faith, then only one can realize God. We are discussing about the importance of simplicity in spiritual life. So I would like to give some examples. Sri Ramakrishna mentioned many stories. You all know that Madhusudan Dada, the simple little boy, small boy, he was afraid to go to the school crossing a jungle, and he was told by his mother, "Oh, don't worry, there is your brother Madhusudana. You just call him, he is going to come and help you." And he had such a simple childlike faith that he believed. And when he traveled, he just called, "Madhusudan, where are you? Where are you?" Immediately the Lord came in the form of his brother and helped him. And that faith, such faith, childlike faith, only can help us to realize God. The other example Sri Ramakrishna often said is the milkmaid and the pandit. We know how the milkmaid was delayed in bringing milk because she could not find a ferry, and every day she has to cross a river. And the pandit, when he hears, he says, "Oh, the people cross the Bhavasagara taking the name of Hari, and you can't cross this small river." She took it so much with faith, and from that day onwards, she came in time. And the Pandit is amazed, and he asks, "How is it possible?" He said, "Why, you only told me that take the name of Hari and cross the river. So I am taking like that." He did not believe, because he tells, Pandits say many words, but they don't believe themselves. And he wanted to test. And when he goes, he sees that milk poor lady, she is taking the name of God and just walking on the water. And this man, he tries and lifts his dhoti that it may become wet. Then she says, "How is that you tell you have faith, but you are doubting?" So this is the condition in present day generation. We are samshayatma, and everything we doubt about the presence of God itself. In such a place, simple faith, childlike faith is essential if we want to be spiritual and realize God. And here, when we say about simplicity, it is not only, it is childlike nature. I don't mean childish nature, because childish nature is often connected with immaturity and ignorance also. In case of Holy Mother, she was extremely childlike and never childish or never emotional, and that exuberance and all that is not there. She was perfectly intelligent. Now coming to the question, where should we search for simplicity in a person? Is it in the external appearance, dress? Is it in the speech, or in the whole life, entire life? We can say Holy Mother was simple in every way. Take her external appearance. She is a complete contrast to her predecessors. Take Sita, Rukmini, Yashodhara, Vishnupriya. They were all born in affluent families, and they wore beautiful dresses and garments and ornaments, and they were well educated, and they had training even fine arts and so many things. And Holy Mother, the poor girl born in an unknown village of Jairambati in a corner in the West Bengal, and she is a rustic village woman. She never entered into the portals of college, university, or anything. And she never had any exposure to the sophisticated ways of the world. And when we take her speech, simple, colloquial Bengali she speaks. If we say message of Holy Mother today, what do we mean? Did she speak like all of us, ordinary people like us, and give lecture from the platform? Never. Was she an author of any book? Never. At least, did she dictate her message to a close disciple like Sri Ramakrishna did to Master Mahashaya? Not even like that. Then only words of wisdom which occasionally fell from her mouth during casual conversation with close devotees, and noted by them for their personal benefit, today made available by our great luck, we can say. That is the great message when we say Holy Mother's message. Her entire life itself, we know, is extremely simple in every way. Now we may question, why Holy Mother came in such a simple way? Why not like her predecessors? The most important reason, there are many reasons, the most important reason is to be easily approachable to all of us. and to be most intimate with us. Suppose he comes in all that grandeur, expression of power, knowledge, and beauty and all that, or say like a goddess with many hands and weapons, we ordinary mortals will be bewildered and keep her at a distance. Oh, she is a goddess, she is Devi. Can we ever be like her? Never. And so we can't go near her. But the main purpose of Holy Mother's coming to this world was to show us the way, how to live in an extremely simple way in this materialistic world, surrounded by all these worldly people and all, and reach the highest spiritual eminence. It is possible, she proved, that even ordinary people like us can try to practice by seeing her ways. How simple she was, just like any one of us, like surrounded by all worldly people, working from morning to night, heavy, so much hard work. So we feel, oh, at least we can try to be like her. And when we see Sri Ramakrishna, his constant moods of ecstasy and he going into samadhi, or if we see Swami Vivekananda, his rhetorical skills and his magnetic personality and his world-moving power, we are amazed and we worship them, we respect them. But we can never become like them, we feel. But Holy Mother, she is just like us, any one of us. It is easy that we can follow. That is one of the main reasons. The second reason we can give, she was very shy and very modest, lajja patavruta in this birth. And so she liked to cover and she didn't want to exhibit all that power, knowledge, beauty that she had. She wanted to keep it hidden. Sri Ramakrishna gives one more reason, that she is Sarada Saraswati, who has come to bestow knowledge to all. If external beauty is there, ordinary people may look at her with vulgar gaze and harm themselves. So she has hidden her wonderful beauty, power and all that like that. Sri Ramakrishna used to compare her to, in Bengali there is an expression, chai chapa bidal. A cat, after stealing and doing all sorts of mischief, pretends innocence and goes under the cover of ashes, as if it has done nothing. So Holy Mother also, being the Divine Mother herself, with all power, with all knowledge and all that, she pretends as if she is just like us, any one of us, very ordinary person, appears so ordinary that fact itself, it is said extraordinary to be so ordinary, in spite of so much power, and keep it hidden from us. So that is Holy Mother's reason why she appeared so simple in this life. Now coming to the fact, actually also Holy Mother was so simple in appearance, we hear that people would not recognize her often. Sometimes Gulab Ma, she had such a impressive personality, that stout, impressive and all that, and voice loud and powerful. And people thought Gulab Ma was Holy Mother. And Holy Mother did not mind. She was she felt a joy on this. It is just a fun, and she had a fun out of it and laughed and never tried to prove that I am Holy Mother and not that and all. So simple and all that we can say. And now coming to spiritual life, I say Sarada Devi made the spiritual life simple for all of us. You see, we have the nature of complicating things, and she has the nature of making simple. In the ancient days, the old acharyas and prophets, they all prescribed so many fitness criteria for spiritual sadhakas. Shankaracharya, for example, he asks you to practice sadhana chatushtaya, that is viveka, vairagya, samadhi, shat, sampatti, and then mumukshutva. If we have to progress in spiritual life, then shravana, manana, nididhyasana, so many things. And the great Patanjali would demand you must practice Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, and all that, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, all. We are all afraid when we hear all that. But Holy Mother never expected, never prescribed all such hard and fast rules. She makes spiritual so simple for all of us. Her life is a wonderful combination of all the yogas, bhakti, gnana, karma, as if in a beautiful triangle we can say. And each of these paths has been made simple by her. I will just explain a little. Take for example Bhakti Yoga. What she says is, what is there? Just pray to the master, repeat his name and contemplate on him. The master is after all our very own eternally. So this is the summary of spiritual life. Pray to the master, prarthana, repeat the name, japa, contemplating on him, that is dhyana. So that is the summary of spiritual life. And if we can relate yourself to Sri Ramakrishna, that I am a child or something like that, the master is eternally our own. That simple way she explains. And then how to pray. She teaches, she herself prayed, seeing the moon, may my mind be spotless like that. Even the moon has some blemishes, but may my mind be utterly stainless. And then when she went to Banki Bihari temple in Vrindavan, it seems she prayed to the Lord Krishna, your form is curved, but your mind is straight. May my mind be straight like that. And then the best prayer, she says, is nirvasana, desirelessness, because desires are the main cause of, root cause of all our miseries and this birth, death and all that. So now coming to japa, and she emphasizes japat siddhi so many times, and she says by doing japa itself we can achieve the highest goal. She says, people say we are not progressing, nothing is happening. Let them do japa for 15 to 20,000 times of a day and they are sure to get results. And I have myself practiced it and seen it. Nobody practices, but they simply complain nothing is happening. But they should do the japa with a little more faith and attention and love. That's what she said. And about contemplation, you can say, she says, just like by handling the flowers, you get the fragrance. By rubbing the sandals on the stone, you get its perfume. So also by thinking about the master again and again, we get his qualities. So like this, the spiritual life is very easy and not as we think it is difficult. She says, just like a clock makes tick, tick, tick sound, so also repeat the name of God constantly at all times. So Bhakti Yoga is so simple. And what about Gnana Yoga? She says, what happens when a person progresses in spiritual life? Does a person grow to horns? Not at all. One realizes the same truth within me is present in everyone around, even in the lowest caste person. This is the highest achievement in Advaita Vedanta, and it was a matter of experience to her, not merely a theory. She herself says, one day when I offered food to Sri Ramakrishna, I saw a row of ants crawling nearby. And then I saw not the ants, Sri Ramakrishna himself in each of these ants, the same hands, the same feet also. And again on another day, she was to leave for Calcutta. And then there was one Gyan Maharaj in Jairambati who used to beat these cats because they used to create a lot of nuisance by drinking milk and all that. She calls Gyan Maharaj and tells him, well, Gyan, in my absence, look after the cats well. Don't beat them, because I only am present in them also. These are the words of the highest realization. Sarva Bhute Brahma Darshan we say. That is seeing the Brahman or seeing the highest truth in all beings, not only human beings, even the animals, birds, ants, insects, cat, everything. So she had the highest realization in that. So much so that even the difference, the demarcation between sacred and secular had completely wiped out in her life. Every action she did was a puja. The whole, Sister Nivedita says, her life was whole a silent prayer. So Gnana Marga also, she teaches so simple way. And what about Karma Yoga? She says, you should not allow your mind without any work and let it loose. Always engage in some good work or the other so that the body and the mind keep well. It was, in fact, she was one of the first person who understood the value of Karma Yoga in spiritual sadhana. When Swami Vivekananda introduced Shivagnane Jiva Seva, that is, Karma Yoga must be a part of our sadhana in Ramakrishna order, then many of the direct disciples, they did not appreciate. Even some of the householder disciples, Master Mahesh and others, they were doubting. But Holy Mother was very clear about all this. And when one brahmachari tells Holy Mother, well, Mother, people say we monastics should not engage in secular work like selling the books, teaching in the schools, and treating patients and all such things. If at all we have to engage in work, it must be tapas, swadhyaya, and all self-study, and this meditation and all that. Then Holy Mother says, don't heed all those words. How many can do japa and meditation 24 hours of a day? What will you do the other time? Then who will provide you the food, shelter, etc.? The master's case was different. He had Mathur Babu for him. But in your case, you have to go and beg your food. And in that effort, you are going to lose your health, your time and everything. Thinking of all this only, my Naren made this Karma Yoga a part of spiritual life in the order. Those who can accommodate will stay here. Others can leave. A clear-cut understanding of the importance of Karma Yoga she gives us. And then just for a housewife, ordinary people like housewives, she tells, suppose you want to cook rice. You put a vessel with water on the stove, cover it, do a little japa, and then after it is boiled, then put rice in it and again cover and do a little japa. When the rice is cooked, you bring it down. So the little gaps of time you get in between your action can be transformed into your Karma Yoga by repeating the name of God. So in such a simple way, she teaches how we can all practice Karma Yoga. Even a householder can practice Karma Yoga. Thus we can say she makes spiritual life so easy and so natural for us. And now coming to the point, how this simplicity manifested in Holy Mother's life. If you take any aspect of Holy Mother's life, she exhibits such simplicity. For example, as a wife, as a mother, as a little girl or daughter, or as a guru. You take any aspect. Let us take for the example as a wife. Where can you find such a simple wife who does not demand anything from her husband? Even the husband, when he is ready and he says, because I am married to you, I am ready to live a worldly life with you. But she says, no, I have come to help you. I have not come to drag you down. And then again, when one day Sri Ramakrishna objected Holy Mother sending food through a characterless lady, and he says, you promise me you will never send my food through such person anymore. Then Holy Mother says, excuse me, Master, I shall try to do as you say, but if anybody calls me mother, I can't resist. Besides, have you come for me alone or have you come for all? What a question. Any wife demands the greatest attention and love from her husband, and this wife is telling, don't love me alone. You love all people equally. Everybody is equal to you. How can you think I am something special? You have to treat all people as the same. Such a simple answer she gives. And when once she comes from Jairambati to Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna asks her to immediately go back because she has come in a wrong muhurta, bad, inauspicious time. Another time, Hridaya also, why did you come? Go back. Like that he is scolding. Holy Mother, without a murmur, went back. And after some time, Sri Ramakrishna sends for her. Now nobody is there to look after me. Please come immediately. Hridaya has left. If you don't get anything, you come in a palanquin or in any way, please come immediately. But she is ready. There is no question why, no argument, nothing. Simply she comes back and ready to serve him. And she never asked for any comforts as a wife from her husband, or for the children, or the minimum comforts, stayed in that congested Nahabat with extreme difficulties and working hardly from morning to night so that she makes her life an example to others. She says, I have done more in my life as an example. For that I am doing all this. There was no necessity for the Divine Mother to work so much. And when Sri Ramakrishna himself worshipped her as the Divine Mother Shodashi, and from the very next day, she did not express even the least ego in her character. She is the same simple Sarada, and nobody knew such a big thing happened. Avatara Purusha Varishta Sri Ramakrishna worshipped his wife. She never told anybody or took pride on it. She was so egoless, and just like before, she carried on her usual work like that. And in all these actions, we can see the simplicity of a wife in her. And even we hear an incident when there was some mad lady who used to come and struggle in Dakshineshwar and other places. She wanted to practice this Madhura Bhava with Sri Ramakrishna. Everybody got angry and they would drive her out. But Holy Mother takes pity on such a lady, and she brings her, you call her, and she consoles her. Why do you go there? You come to me. To a lady who wants to practice Madhura Bhava with her husband. And she is so sympathetic with her. Can you imagine what a simple wife she must be? And take the attitude of mother. Her motherly love was, what to say, Gondi Bhanga Ma in Bengali, there is an expression, barrier breaking mother, all encompassing and all inclusive motherly love. And there is no difference between high, low, rich, poor, and any caste, creed, culture, nothing is there. She says, the good, the virtuous are also my children. The wicked people are also my children. Amzad is as much my son as Sharat is. I am the mother of the English people also. How can I be exclusive? And she says, she receives Sister Nivedita, Volleyball, Christine, and all these Western ladies, calling them my daughters. And they also feel so close and so free. In those days, people cried, you are going to lose your caste. You are even wiping the remnants of the food after eating. But she did not care. Once in the village, even the village elders asked her to pay penalty for indiscriminately mixing with all people. She paid it, but she continued her practice as before. Such a simple nature in her motherly love, which could not differentiate between good and the bad, but it was equal without expecting anything in return from the children. She simply loved everyone. We may profess we also love, but we can't love all people, and never equally and impartially like her, because we have so many likes and dislikes and inhibitions and so many things in her. It is impossible. Only a divine mother she was. She had that motherly love expressed in that way, we can say. And coming to the attitude of a teacher, spiritual teacher. Here also she was the simplest spiritual teacher perhaps, because as I said, she did not fix any criteria from her disciples. She gave mantra diksha, even brahmacharya and sannyasa also. But in all this, she expresses such a simple nature. She never claims she is a guru. She says, I am Sri Ramakrishna is guru. I am only your mother. And while giving diksha, there was no need of any previous interviews, no likes, dislikes and all that. Anybody who comes, okay, sinner or good or bad, is given diksha. No need of fixed time, usually morning, but it could be evening, night or any time. No need of a fixed place, usually in the shrine, but even on a railway platform or on the roadside or on a bed lying down with her childhood friend. She gives diksha there itself. So no need of any ritualistic practices, that is hard and fast rules were laid down by her, and she gave diksha in so short time with minimum instructions that sometimes the disciples got doubt. One Swami Asheshananda, one of her disciples, asked Swami Sharadananda, well, mother gave me mantra, but she did not elaborate any details on how to practice sadhana. Can you explain a little for my sake? Swami Sharadananda says, well, I see you are indeed a fool. Can I add anything to what she has already given? Know that whatever she has given you is the ultimate word in spiritual life. And just have faith and practice it, that would be enough. So in that way, such a spiritual life, we see sinner or good or bad, she accepted everything. After all, this body is going to fall one day. Let it fall today itself. Let these people be liberated. What a broad mind. Even the poison she used to digest, we hear. And once one lady asked, well, you have taught me how to call on Sri Ramakrishna, but you did not explain how to call on you. Can you please tell? Then Holy Mother says, well, you can call me as Radha. You can call me by the name of any god or goddess, or simply as Mother. That's okay. How simple is spiritual practice? That is, she indirectly tells us she is Sita, Radha, or what is Sri Ramakrishna's Shakti who has come in this time. So if you call by any that name also, it is okay for her. Or she is Sarva Deva Devi Swarupini. So you can call her by any god or goddess name. That's also okay for her. Even not that, simply as Ma. So even a baby can call Ma. So such simple. We all have the impression that spiritual Diksha must be taken from an expert or some specialist, and the process should come so many rituals. The mantra should be in Sanskrit, full of complex words. Nothing of the sort. That is, Diksha was so simple, nothing, just have faith, surrender, love, devotion, sincerity. That was enough for her. So in this way we see how as a spiritual teacher, also she was extremely simple in accepting disciples and all that. And coming to as a daughter or a girl, Swami Sharadeshanandaji has mentioned Ma or May. There is a chapter. Like a girl, I don't mean towards her parents, that is natural. Even other way, sometimes an innocent girl's character is expressed in her nature. I will give an example. The most famous example is that Telo Bhelo forest. That day when she is alone in the forest, when companions have all left her, she is facing a dacoit, terrible looking dacoit. She did not faint away, she did not run away from the spot, or she did not scream or stand still stunned. In the most simple way, she approaches that fierce dacoit and says, I am your daughter and please help me, I am in trouble and you take me to my people. Just imagine. We may admire her boldness, fearlessness, but I say the simplicity of thinking a cruel dacoit as your father and feeling like I am daughter, that itself is marvelous. And not only that, by this action, she creates a beautiful bond with that dacoit. She makes him feel that fatherly affection towards a daughter in her case. So simplicity, evoking simplicity in the other people, that is what we call as aggressive goodness, aggressive simplicity, that can transform the other people. That was what Holy Mother was there. Even there are many other incidents. Since they have given me a little more time, I am telling. That is, one day Holy Mother and a brahmachari, they are in Jairambati. Both of them are rolling chapatis, and then that Nalini is baking. Suddenly Nalini tells, Holy Mother is not doing well and she is slow, something like that. Then immediately Mother got hurt. Oh, I have been rolling chapatis since my childhood and you are telling I am not doing well. And this boy is half my age, hard to say, she said, and he is doing better than me. Well, I am not going to do chapatis anymore. And she was about to go. Then the brahmachari immediately took hint and he says to Nalini, how could you make out which were the chapatis rolled by me and which were rolled by Holy Mother? You are mistaken. She is doing very nicely and if she goes away, I am not going to continue here anymore. Then the mother, like a little girl, quickly hurt and disturbed and quickly consoled also. Again comes back and starts chit-chatting with that brahmachari and doing chapatis. Another incident we can give, that is when there only in Jairambati, those days we are under foreign subjugation. Many times police people will come and visit the ashrama to investigate any revolutionaries are hiding there or not. And one such time when police officer comes and Holy Mother has prepared halwa and she feeds him. And then he asks, well, mother, are you afraid of all these police people coming and visiting now and then? The people around immediately say, yes, yes, no, she is not at all afraid. But Holy Mother says, yes, Father, I am really feeling afraid of these people. She who is Abhaya, Varada, the Divine Mother herself, there is no question of her being afraid. But she, as a human being, she has come. She says, yes, I am afraid. So that the police officers also felt that he was like a protective father. No, nothing to worry, mother. I shall take care of everything. That feeling she makes him feel, that is, I am a little daughter in trouble and you should take care of me. And in the last days in Udbodhan, we know, when she was suffering severely, bedridden, and she's getting irritable, not liking to take medicine or food from regular attendants' hands, then she expects Sharat Maharaj should come and feed milk, and he should do all those things. And the main reason I tell you is Sharat Maharaj was always feeling a little unhappy that Holy Mother is not feeling free with me also, and she is pulling that big veil even in my friend, and she says she thinks I am her father-in-law or what. She is my daughter-in-law. In those days it was like that. So this idea she removed, that he came near her and served her, and he felt that joy of it. That's Holy Mother felt. So, and also simply some other we can say like this. When she came to Calcutta first, she was not used to this sophisticated world. When she opened the tap, when hissing sound coming, water, air stuck inside, she thinks there is a serpent inside and runs away in fear. And another time she hears a wife, housewife, she is capable of giving key to an alarm clock. A very difficult task, she thinks. And another lady, she can trim the lantern nicely. And she is heaping praise on them. We may laugh at her innocence, almost amounting to ignorance. But the real truth is, we are all worldly wise and spiritually immature and ignorant. And she is the reverse. She is spiritually wise. In worldly matters, she appeared ignorant. Even that, why should it be, you may ask? Because the divine comes as embodied. It covers all its power and all that, and looks like natural, like us. So in all these different aspects, we can see how she is looking so extremely simple in her life. And Sister Nivedita, it is really strange how she could recognize the depth of her spirituality and simplicity. And she says once in her letter to Neil Hammond, she wrote, she, Holy Mother, really is under the simplest, most unassuming guise, one of the strongest and greatest of women. Another letter to Ratcliffe, she wrote, Sarada Devi, our Holy Mother, as we call her, is only a simple Hindu woman, and yet I think the greatest woman in the whole world today. In fact, she brought up in such a different environment, but she became like a girl of 5 years in front of Holy Mother, and all her powerful personality would melt away in front of Holy Mother, it seems. And thus we see how Holy Mother, simplicity personified in her life, makes us understand that even ordinary people like us can be highly simple yet spiritual also. And also she makes us understand the happiness and peace in this world are not the outcome of material prosperity or material achievements, but it is the simplicity and spirituality. And lastly, we can say she was not merely, there was not merely absence of complexity, but the spiritual nature was natural in her. It was her nature. And also it was not merely a passive quality in her, but she was actively involved in service activities, selfless service and universal acceptance and all that. In fact, today we can see her greatness and simplicity has been known to everyone in the whole world, and we can have the global understanding and legacy we can see. Once upon a time, people understood Swami Vivekananda and appreciated. Later, they understood a little Sri Ramakrishna. Today, everyone in the whole world, so many people, they want to know more about Holy Mother. more about how she lived in that poor hamlet and how in Dakshineshwar. So that greatness of a really great person goes on growing ages after ages. And such simplicity to understand, we should also have a little bit of simplicity inside us. I pray to Holy Mother, may we all imbibe a little bit of her simplicity and be able to reach the goal in our life. And I pray to Holy Mother. Thank you all.